David is always prepared. He's always constructive. He really cares about your work, and he cares about you as a person.
He's very calm and thoughtful. He's also just extremely humble. He just wants to talk about ideas.
Many people describe David Lake as the connector. He's constantly looking for connection, constantly looking for the next great thing the department, that the university could do to build its reputation internationally.
So I have no idea why I got interested in international relations. I grew up in a small town, blue-collar town. My family never traveled outside of the state. But in high school, I was the kid who would show up early, go to the library and read the New York Times so I could get the international news. Went to graduate school and discovered all this interesting work being done in political economy and just drawn into it and felt that this was the natural thing for me to be doing.
I think one of the things that he has a reputation for is seeing the entire field of international relations. He's made a contribution in terms of our understanding of hierarchy, which is a very big deal, but he has worked on almost every topic that exists in international relations.
I'd like my work to be remembered for broadening the research program in international relations, where we started with this rather simplistic assumption that the world is anarchic. I've contributed to a change where we now understand that there's all forms of authority that exist above nation states, whether it's the sorts of hierarchies that I've written on or private authorities that are shaping how the international economy works, international institutions that are promoting and enforcing human rights. All of this sort of built out of a research agenda, moved away from the stultifying assumption of anarchy. The way I'd like to be remembered is for creating generations of new scholars who will carry on the work that we've been doing so far.
This year, in 2025, the political science department is ranked number 8 among the best graduate programs in the country. The department has maintained this high ranking for a very long time, and David Lake gets a large part of how they've been able to get to that level and stay at that level for so long. He, along with his colleagues, they've attracted excellent faculty. They've built a powerful curriculum. They attract great undergraduate, graduate students. All of that comes from having a consistent vision of how an excellent department should be.
When I arrived at UC San Diego in 1992, international relations in the Department of Political Science was important, but not at the forefront of the department. I wanted to build a bigger, more respected program there.
David was really instrumental in bringing together and building bridges between GPS and the political science department.
Within a matter of years, we had probably the biggest group of faculty in international relations in the world.
This had a huge impact on the students as well, because now they get access to more faculty, to much richer education in that sense, and more mentorship.
And something that I think I'm very proud of, and I think the campus should be proud of.
He either chaired or sat on dissertation committees, I think almost 100 committees. So students who've worked directly with him go on to become faculty at universities around the country, or they work for government agencies, they work for policy institutes. He maintained that relationship long after they've left UC San Diego.
It's so fun to talk about David because he's been so influential in my career. I did not know what I was getting into when I started the program at UCSD. He was my faculty mentor. I've worked closely with him since that time. He says to all of his students that the advising doesn't end when you graduate and get your PhD. And so it's been really nice to have him as someone I can talk to about basically everything in the profession.
I consider myself as a mentee ever since I started here at UC San Diego as an assistant professor. So anytime I seek his advice, he is there to provide it. This has been very helpful in terms of how I mentor students and how I think about my own commitment to the institution. So in that way, David is truly a role model for me.
He's formed a really important, really influential organization called the International Political Economy Society, which is a really dynamic place for people who study international political economy. He's been held most leadership positions that exist in the discipline. I think he's been president of the International Studies Association, of the American Political Science Association. He's had numerous leadership roles at UCSD. And then in his scholarship, he just keeps writing books and he keeps writing articles. He just had another one get accepted in the top journal in our field. He's somehow been able to do all of these things jointly throughout his career in a way that I think his legacy is one that covers the entire breadth of work that any of us in this type of position can do.
I'm still curious. There's so many unanswered questions that leads me to sort of get up and go to my desk every day and see if I can puzzle through and provide something of an answer.